What happens when you custom water cool your PC and you use Primo Chill fluid? Well, let's show you. Coolants that look like this are super cool, but they're not really good for sustainability, and you're gonna need to clean all of those little particles out of your build. If you want something long-term, distilled water and no colorants is gonna be your best bet, especially if you use some kind of antimicrobial in there. So we're going to take apart the 4090, clean everything out, and then rebuild the PC. Now, this is because of those particles getting stuck, and your temperatures are going to slowly rise. We're going to go ahead and fix that and use a different coolant. Whenever cleaning a water block, I generally use a toothbrush, some isopropyl alcohol, paper towels, and a microfiber. I just clean everything out, and then once you get done, make sure that you use some distilled water to wash everything out, because you don't want isopropyl alcohol running through your system. What you're seeing inside of the heat sinks is all those little particles, and when you add heat to these coolants, especially colored ones, they kind of start to get gunked up, and that's what gets stuck all throughout your PC. That's why distilled water is so great. Now that we have all the gunk cleaned out, we're going to use our microfiber, clean everything up, polish it, and then we can put this thing back together. You can see this thing looks quite nice now that it's all clean. Now we're just cleaning the O-ring to make sure we can get a good seal, and we can put it back in the water block. The O-ring's kind of a little complicated because if you go too tight, you're going to have some looseness to it. You want to make sure you just follow all the curves and go light with it and place it where it needs to go. You don't want to have any flop because you're not going to have a good seal, and then you'll have a leak. Now when tightening this down after you place the O-ring, make sure you don't just do one side all the way down. You want to do all of the screws little by little, and you're skipping around kind of in a star pattern, even though it's nowhere near the shape of a star. Now we can match up all the previous runs and use the new line. What you're going to do is you're going to use some distilled water to clean everything out, and then you can run with new coolant. But you want to check for leaks before you do any of that. Then we'll add the GPU, run all the lines, and add some distilled water. So let's go ahead and see if this thing leaks. Whenever you're testing your custom loop, only give power to your pump. That way if you do have a leak, you don't short anything out, and also put paper towels down. You just put it down on any of the leak points and you'll be just fine. Even if you do have a leak, you will not short anything out. Whenever doing this, you want to do it overnight or for a few hours. That way if you do have leaks, you'll know ahead of time, and it's so much easier with colored coolant because if it drips on the paper towel, you'll totally see it coming. Now a great example of that would be this. Totally fine, no issues, and we didn't short anything out because the pump was the only thing that had power.